Welcome back to Narrative Network. What if the person you thought was insignificant turned out to be the one who changes your life forever? Meet Victoria, a powerful CEO who looks down on a simple gatekeeper, dismissing him as unimportant. But what she doesn't know is that this humble man is about to teach her a lesson she'll never forget. A lesson that will transform not only her life, but the lives of everyone around her. Stay until the end to uncover the incredible twists and emotional journey of this story. It's a tale of humility, kindness, and the unexpected power of one person's influence. If this story resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. And make sure to subscribe for more inspiring stories like this one. Let's dive into the lesson of a lifetime. Victoria Hall strode into the gleaming glass building, her stiletto heels clicking against the marble floor. As the CEO of Hall Enterprises, she commanded respect, and she knew it. Everything about her screamed success. The tailored designer suit, the sleek haircut, the piercing gaze that could make anyone second-guess themselves. But there was one thing Victoria lacked: patience. Her rise to power had made her intolerant of mistakes, delays, or anything she deemed beneath her. And today, as she approached the gatekeeper's booth at her company's private parking lot, she was already in a foul mood. The gatekeeper, an older man with a kind face, greeted her with a polite nod. His name tag read, William. "Good morning, Ms. Hall," he said warmly. Victoria barely glanced at him. "Just open the gate, will you?" she snapped. Her voice clipped. William hesitated for a moment. "Actually, ma'am, there's a slight issue." "I don't have time for this," she interrupted, her tone icy. "Just do your job." William's expression remained calm, but there was a flicker of something in his eyes, something Victoria didn't notice as she sped off the moment the gate lifted. Over the weeks that followed, Victoria's interactions with William remained curt and dismissive. She saw him as a mere gatekeeper, someone insignificant in her world of high-stakes business deals and boardroom negotiations. William, however, treated everyone with respect, regardless of how he was treated in return. He greeted employees by name, offered words of encouragement, and even remembered small details about their lives. But Victoria wasn't interested in small talk, and she certainly didn't notice the quiet wisdom in William's demeanor. One rainy morning, as Victoria pulled up to the gate, William stopped her again. "Ms. Hall," he said gently, "I need to check your parking permit. There's been a mix-up with the system." Victoria rolled down her window, her irritation palpable. "Are you serious? Do you know who I am?" "Yes, ma'am," William replied, unfazed. "But rules are rules." Her cheeks flushed with anger, but she handed over her permit, muttering under her breath. A few weeks later, Hall Enterprises was set to host a prestigious conference with high-profile investors from around the globe. Victoria was determined to impress them, viewing this as an opportunity to solidify her reputation as a business powerhouse. On the morning of the event, Victoria arrived early, her car packed with presentation materials and tailored to perfection. As she approached the gate, she was greeted by William, who waved her down. "What now?" she barked, rolling down her window. "Ms. Hall," he said, his tone apologetic, "there's been a problem with the security system. I can't let anyone through until it's resolved." "This is ridiculous," Victoria exclaimed. "I have an important meeting. Do you have any idea what's at stake?" "I understand, ma'am," William said calmly, "but I can't make exceptions. It's for everyone's safety." Fuming, Victoria slammed her car door and stormed toward the building, determined to take the matter into her own hands. As Victoria entered the building, she found chaos unfolding. The event staff was scrambling to fix last-minute issues. The AV team was dealing with technical glitches, and some investors were already arriving, looking unimpressed. Her frustration boiled over. "Why is everything going wrong?" she demanded, her voice echoing through the lobby. In the midst of the chaos, William appeared, having left his post to help. He approached a frazzled staff member, offering to carry heavy equipment and directing lost guests with ease. Victoria noticed him and marched over. "Why are you here? Shouldn't you be at the gate?" William straightened, meeting her gaze calmly. "I'm here to help, ma'am. There's more to my job than just opening gates." For the first time, Victoria paused. She watched as William continued assisting, his demeanor steady and composed despite the chaos. Employees and guests alike seemed to gravitate toward him, drawn by his kindness and quiet confidence. As the day progressed, things began to settle. The AV team fixed the glitches, and the event finally got underway. Victoria, still rattled from the morning's chaos, gave her keynote speech. Though she hit all the right points, she noticed that the energy in the room was lackluster. The investors seemed disengaged, their attention drifting. When the conference ended, Victoria overheard some of the investors talking in the lobby. "That gatekeeper," one of them said, "was so impressive. He knew exactly where to direct me and even gave me a little pep talk before the presentation. More people should have his attitude." Victoria's eyes widened in disbelief. "They're talking about William?" That evening, Victoria lingered in her office, replaying the day's events in her mind. She couldn't shake the image of William, tirelessly helping others and earning the respect of people who had barely noticed her speech. Curiosity got the better of her. She pulled up William's employee file, expecting to find a simple resume. Instead, she discovered that William had once been a successful businessman himself. He had founded and run a thriving logistics company before retiring early to care for his ailing wife. After she passed, he took the gatekeeper job not out of necessity, but because he enjoyed interacting with people and staying active. Stunned, Victoria realized she had misjudged him entirely. The next morning, Victoria arrived early and waited at the gate. When William saw her, he smiled warmly. "Good morning, Ms. Hall." "Good morning, William," she replied, her tone softer than usual. "Can we talk for a moment?" William nodded, stepping out of his booth. "I owe you an apology," Victoria began. "I've been dismissive and rude, and I didn't take the time to see you for who you are. Yesterday made me realize how much I have to learn about leadership and about humility." William smiled kindly. "We all have lessons to learn, Ms. Hall. The key is being open to them." From that day forward, Victoria's demeanor changed. She made an effort to greet everyone she encountered, from entry-level employees to senior executives, with respect. She sought out William's advice on fostering a positive company culture, recognizing his unique ability to connect with people. Over time, Hall Enterprises transformed. Employee morale improved, and the company's reputation soared. Investors noticed the change, crediting Victoria's newfound leadership style. After William retired, Victoria took it upon herself to honor his legacy in a meaningful way. She created the William Initiative, a program within Hall Enterprises dedicated to recognizing and supporting employees at every level of the company. The initiative focused on providing mentorship, career development opportunities, and community-building activities, ensuring that every worker felt valued. Victoria often shared her story of transformation with her employees, emphasizing how William's quiet leadership and unwavering kindness had opened her eyes. She encouraged her team to adopt his principles: respect for everyone, no matter their title, and a willingness to serve with humility. One day, during a company town hall, Victoria addressed her employees. "William taught me something I'll never forget, that leadership is about people, not power. It's the connections we build, the trust we earn, and the kindness we show that truly define us. This company is better because of him, and I'm better because of him." Her words were met with thunderous applause, and the employees embraced the William Initiative wholeheartedly. Though William had retired, he remained a beloved figure in the community. He spent his days volunteering at local shelters, mentoring young people, and participating in charity events. His calm demeanor and genuine interest in others made him a natural leader, even outside the workplace. One afternoon, Victoria visited William at a community center where he was teaching a workshop on effective communication. She watched from the back of the room as he engaged the attendees with stories and practical advice, his words inspiring everyone present. After the session, she approached him with a smile. "Still teaching lessons, I see." William chuckled. "The classroom just looks a little different these days." Victoria handed him a folder. "I wanted to show you something. It's a report on the William Initiative. We've already seen a 40% increase in employee satisfaction, and several people have told me it's the reason they feel proud to work for Hall Enterprises." William flipped through the pages, his eyes lighting up as he read the testimonials. "This is incredible, Victoria. I'm proud of you. I wouldn't have done it without you," she replied. "You taught me what leadership really means." The success of the William Initiative inspired other companies to adopt similar programs. Hall Enterprises became a model for corporate culture transformation, and Victoria was invited to speak at conferences and write articles about her experience. One evening, she received a call from an old rival, the CEO of a competing firm. "Victoria," he said, "I read about your initiative, and I have to say, I'm impressed. I'd love to learn how you managed to turn things around." Victoria smiled. "It all started with a gatekeeper who reminded me that everyone has something valuable to teach. I'd be happy to share what I've learned." The rival company implemented its own version of the William Initiative, and soon other businesses followed suit. What began as a lesson for one woman grew into a movement that transformed countless workplaces. Years later, Hall Enterprises celebrated its 50th anniversary. The event was a grand affair, with employees past and present gathering to honor the company's journey. Victoria, now semi-retired, took the stage to give a speech. "This company's success isn't just about profits or market share," she said. "It's about people. It's about the lessons we learn from each other, no matter where we stand in the hierarchy. And it's about the legacy of one man who showed us all what true leadership looks like." She gestured toward the audience, where William sat in the front row, beaming with pride. "William, this company is what it is today because of you. Thank you for teaching us the most important lesson of all, that kindness and humility are the greatest strengths a leader can have." The audience erupted in applause, and William stood to acknowledge the ovation. His eyes glistened with emotion as he nodded to Victoria. The William Initiative grew beyond corporate settings, becoming a blueprint for schools, nonprofits, and governments. It wasn't just about creating better workplaces anymore. It was about fostering stronger communities. The initiative inspired programs that empowered marginalized groups, offered mentorship to young leaders, and encouraged kindness as a fundamental value in everyday life. William, though retired, became a sought-after speaker. His approach was simple yet profound. He told stories of the people he had met, the lessons they had taught him, and the power of listening and respect. Whether speaking at a global summit or a local community event, his words resonated deeply. One evening, after a speaking engagement in London, William received an email from a young teacher in South Africa. She wrote about how the William Initiative had inspired her to create a program for her students, teaching them about empathy and leadership. "Your message is changing the world, Mr. William," she wrote, "one heart at a time." When William shared the email with Victoria, she smiled. "It's amazing how far one small act can reach." As Hall Enterprises continued to flourish, new leaders emerged within the company, many of whom had been mentored under the principles of the William Initiative. Victoria, now fully retired, often visited the company as an honorary guest, marveling at how her once rigid corporate environment had transformed into a hub of innovation and collaboration. Jasmine, a young executive who had risen through the ranks thanks to the initiative, shared her gratitude during a company event. "When I joined Hall Enterprises, I was shy and unsure of my place," she said. "But the mentorship I received here showed me that leadership isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about lifting others up. That lesson started with Mr. William, and it's something I carry with me every day." William, now in his 80s, attended the event and listened quietly from the audience. When Jasmine approached him afterward, he simply said, "The best leaders are the ones who help others find their voices. You've done that beautifully." As time passed, William's health began to decline. Though his body grew weaker, his spirit remained strong. He continued to mentor and inspire others, even from his hospital bed, where visitors often came to seek his advice or simply thank him for the impact he'd had on their lives. One day, Victoria visited him with a gift, a scrapbook filled with letters, photos, and stories from people around the world whose lives had been touched by his legacy. William flipped through the pages slowly, his eyes brimming with tears. "This," he said softly, "is more than I ever dreamed of." "You gave us so much more, William," Victoria replied, her voice breaking. "You showed us how to be better, not just as leaders, but as people." After William passed away peacefully, tributes poured in from around the world. Hall Enterprises held a memorial service that brought together employees, community members, and leaders from every corner of the globe. Each person shared how William had influenced their lives, whether directly or through the initiatives inspired by his values. At the service, Victoria delivered the eulogy. "William may have called himself a gatekeeper," she said, her voice steady despite her emotions. "But he was so much more than that. He was a mentor, a leader, and a friend. He taught us that no role is insignificant and that every person has the power to make a difference. His legacy will live on in every act of kindness, every moment of humility, and every life he touched." Years later, the William Initiative became an integral part of global leadership training. Schools around the world adopted its principles, teaching children the importance of empathy, respect, and the value of every individual. Companies embraced immersive as a cornerstone of their cultures, and communities used it to build stronger connections among their members. Victoria, now in her twilight years, often reflected on the moment she had dismissed William as just a gatekeeper. It had been a humbling lesson, one that had not only changed her life, but also created a ripple effect that touched countless others. One afternoon, as she walked through the Hall Enterprises headquarters, she passed by a wall dedicated to the company's history. At the center was a plaque honoring William, inscribed with his favorite phrase, "True leadership isn't about power, it's about service." Victoria paused, placing her hand gently on the plaque. "Thank you, William," she whispered, "for everything." As she walked away, she saw a group of young employees gathered around a mentor, eager to learn. It was a scene that would have been unthinkable in the old days of Hall Enterprises, but now it was a testament to the lasting impact of one man's wisdom and kindness. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more exciting and thought-provoking content. Share this video with your friends and family to spread the message of kindness and humility. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below, and we'll see you in the next video.